Give me both teams to score in the first period. That's coming in at plus 185 compared to the over 1.5 that is at minus 120. Okay, you guys ready? Let's make some frickin' money. It's time for Bucket with Jo. Happy Sunday Fun Day, everyone. Yes, it is time for the big game today, and I know we're all excited for it, but let's not forget about the two games on the ice. It just wouldn't be right if we didn't talk these two games today because there is an opportunity to make some money on the ice in this one, and we're going to look at both of these games. Now, we'll do the recap quick at the end, but this should definitely be a quick show out there. So the first game we're looking at is the Utah Hockey Club versus the Washington Capitals. We got Ovi in action, and then we're going to look at the Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Montreal Canadiens. And I do think both of these games should be higher scoring games. That first one kicking off at 12:40 Eastern. So this game is kicking off pretty quick here. I do think it's a weird scheduling spot for the Washington Capitals. So we're going to jump into that, but I do have faith in them to score some goals. So looking at those odds, all odds are over on FanDuel, you guys. We got the Utah Hockey Club at plus 160. We have the Washington Capitals at minus 194, and we got a total of 5.5. Minus 120 to the over 5.5. And because I think Utah will put up a couple of goals themselves, I do lean over. I don't love the juice we're having to pay there. One thing I'm going to look at is Washington Capitals. I love their team total. We got a team total of 3.5 for the Washington Capitals. We're getting plus money at plus 108. Connor Ingram, the last time versus the Washington Capitals, he was pulled after allowing 4 goals on 13 shots on his net. He'll be in net, well, expected at least. No confirmations as of yet here for Utah. And I really do think the Caps are going to hit him and hit him hard. And I think Ovi has a big day. You're looking at Ovechkin right now. Ovechkin has, let me just get the number completely correct, 879 goals, 15 goals away from Gretzky's record of 894. Let's look for Ovi for the anytime goal. It's plus 110. Let's look at Ovi for a sprinkle for 2+ goals at plus 650. I do think he will be nice and strong in this, but I talk about that scheduling spot. It's kind of weird for the Washington Capitals. Now they're off a couple of wins. They were able to get the win on Thursday versus the Philadelphia Flyers. They haven't played since Thursday, and they're coming up against that break. So I do think the advantage really does go to Utah after having to play yesterday. This is not a good spot for Utah. Over the season on the second night of a back-to-back. They've lost their last 4. So they have had these struggles on the second night of a back-to-back, but I'm looking for them to have that momentum coming into this game, even though they lost to the Carolina Hurricanes last night. Terrible second period out of this team. We saw in the first period, both of those teams lit the lamp, and then it was 1-1. We go into the second period. Utah scores 1 goal, but they allowed Carolina to put up 4 and then 1 and 2 in that final third period out there. So it really was that second period. It was just complete fall apart there for the Utah Hockey Club. Now, I do think that momentum of playing those games last night comes strong into that first period. I'm looking for Utah to score in the first period. And because I like Utah to score in the first period, that's where I'm going with that total over 5.5, because I think we can see at least 4 goals out of the Washington Capitals. I do think no matter what, even the weird scheduling spot, we see that offense really open up. I don't see them playing a lockdown defensive game before going into this break. I'm expecting a little bit of pond hockey. So you guys give me the Capitals team total over 3.5, Ovi for a goal at plus 110, and 2+ goals for Ovechkin. Now, can you look at anything here for the Utah Hockey Club? You absolutely could. Could Utah come in and pull off this win? Yeah. So if I'm looking at Utah, because they haven't been playing in like those tight games, they failed to cover the puck line in their last 8. I would look, if you want to bet Utah, if they, well, see, the problem is Utah is going to have tired legs by the end of this game. I would look at Utah maybe in the first period on that puck line, plus a half a goal, or straight up on the money line in that first period. I think they could get the best of the Washington Capitals to come out of the gate. Then I think the Capitals kind of like pull away in this one. So it's going to be an interesting situation to see how the Capitals show up. But I think with Ovi chasing these records, you got to see the goals out of them out there, because once they come out from the break, you know, they're full steam ahead. They're trying to make a playoff spot that they want and the division and everything like that. So you need Ovi to capitalize on opportunities like this against a goaltender like Connor Ingram. So give me Ovi, give the Caps team total, and it should be good. Happy Super Bowl Sunday to you, Kev. It's so great to see you guys here each and every day. I appreciate you so much. That Blackhawks game was exciting. Yeah, I wish that's what the Winter Classic was like as well. Just crazy out there. What a good game. Irish King, good to see you as well. And you took Ovi 2 goals and Barkley 2 touchdowns. How can you not take Barkley for 2 touchdowns on his birthday to go out so strong? I also took Jalen Hurts for 2 plus touchdowns. You know that tush push is coming, and you know that pressure is coming from Chris Jones. He's going to be scrambling out there on the field, and we know Jalen Hurts is and has the ability. He's that dual threat quarterback to run it in. So I did take Jalen Hurts. The 2 plus touchdowns for Hurts is at plus 550. So I think between Barkley and Hurts, one of them will get it. So I think we're only getting plus 330, right, for Barkley, but plus 550 for Hurts. So hopefully it is both of them. I'm looking for the Eagles to have a big day. Okay. Back to hockey, you guys. Don't distract me. I'll talk football all day long with you. You know that. The Tampa Bay Lightning versus the Montreal Canadiens, 1:10 Eastern. The big game kicking off at 6 Eastern. These guys will want to get in and out of this game. Now, Montreal coming in, and these athletes want to watch the game. So Montreal, they're at home. They will be returning home to parties or their family or going out to the pubs. And then we have the Tampa Bay Lightning. They're going to have to stay in Montreal if they want to see this game, unless they want to watch it on the plane. Just don't think so. We've got the Montreal Canadiens at plus 142, the Tampa Bay Lightning at minus 172 off a big win yesterday, a total of 6.5. Now, the 6.5 juice to the under at minus 114. Again, I'm really thinking we're in for some pond hockey today. I can't take these games to the under, but I'm kind of cautious with this one. We know Montreal has had issues lighting the lamp in some of these games. Now, this is a battle of the Atlantic here. And actually, it's interesting to see when we break down the Atlantic, who has had more success in those divisional matchups. When I first looked at the record for the Montreal Canadiens, I thought I was looking at Tampa. They've gone 9-5 in divisional matchups this season. And when we look at Tampa, they've gone 6-9. So I would have expected the opposite here. We've seen Montreal really be able to step up in these divisional matchups. And we do have the Tampa Bay Lightning rolling in hot right now. They won their last 3. Yesterday's big win over the Red Wings. I expected that game to go a different way. I expected more defense and more lockdown in that. There was some tough games out there on the ice for sure yesterday. But I think in this one, we're seeing Montreal rolling in after being shut out. They've lost their last 2. They got shut out by the New Jersey Devils yesterday, 4-0. I'm looking for them here at home to really step up right away out of the gate. I think both of these teams can score in the first period. We've got Under Vasilevsky versus Dobbs, and I know both of these goaltenders have been so solid. Dobbs has just surprised all of us out there between the pipes with what he's been able to come in and do for the Montreal Canadiens this season. And then Under Vasilevsky, right? There's no down talking Vas out there. So I think both of these goaltenders can have solid games, but I'm looking for that pond hockey offensive style of game out here where the defenses just have those lapses. These teams are ready to have some time off. Some of these players playing in the Four Nations. So I'm going to look at the first period over 1.5 goals. It's something that a lot of people have been doing this season when a team is coming off a shutout loss, and it hasn't been working in all of these games. We look at the Flyers, and they went, 3-4 games being shut out there on the ice, so it wasn't able to cash. But we do have a Tampa Bay Lightning team that is coming in after putting up 6 goals yesterday. So the over 1.5 coming in at minus 138. But I do think both teams can score. That's coming in at plus 160. You know Montreal is going to be hungry to get on the board. Now, I have this weird gut feeling the Montreal can pull off the win. Looking at current odds on this one, Montreal at plus 142. It's not as much value as I really do want you guys. I want Montreal at better value. I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to be live betting this game today because there's so much going on with Super Bowl. I won't have an opportunity to watch this game. So I'm going to take a chance at plus 142 here on the money line with the Montreal Canadiens. Don't love the value. I wanted closer to plus 180, but I do think you play the number here. Now, the total is sitting at 6.5. I think that has every possibility going over, but I like those first periods over and both teams to score better. Cole Caulfield and Nick Suzuki, I do think come out strong for Montreal. They're going to be frustrated with themselves after not being able to get on the board. Same with Lane Hudson. And then when we look here at the Tampa Bay Lightning, we know Braden Point has just been a straight fire, 30 goals and 27 assists. So 57 points on the season. Look for Braden Point to come out strong. And Brandon Hagel, I do think, is another player that you can circle today. So I think we have a lot of opportunities to still make some money out there on the ice. It is kind of nerve-wracking with these teams going into that break, you guys, and what we're going to see out of them, how much effort we're going to get out of them. before they head into that break. Now, Jake Evans has scored a goal in 3 of the Canadiens' last 4 games against the Lightning. So that's another player you can look at here for Montreal is Jake Evans to come out strong to get those points on the board. We could see it happening. Now, Dylan Guenther, we know Dylan Guenther coming back from those injuries with Utah has stepped right back up. It looks like he hasn't missed a beat out there on the ice. And he's been strong in those second night of a back-to-back situations as well over his career. So I do think Dylan Guenther, another player you look at here for Utah. And that's what I mean. I think Utah can help add to that total versus the Washington Capitals. So I do think it's a couple of opportunities to make some money, you guys, but it should be a great day out there on the ice. Caulfield, anytime goal. Yeah, I'm with you. And I do think you take a chance on the Montreal Canadiens for sure. Could we have 2 upsets today? We absolutely could. And that's the thing that kind of I look at today. It's kind of like a Friday where Friday games, they just kind of go weird because these teams sometimes don't step up. The Washington Capitals in that weird scheduling spot, you guys. I just don't love where they haven't played since Thursday. They're off Friday, Saturday, and they know they're going into a break, and now they got to get up for one game where Utah had to play yesterday. Their mindset is one more game. Let's just get this game done, especially after losing yesterday. So I think there's kind of like that extra oomph for the Utah Hockey Club. So could we see both dogs get the win? We absolutely could. My problem is I don't want to step in front of the Washington Capitals at home with Ovi, and that's why I'm looking at a team total instead of looking at the puck line. And I do think a lot of people will look at this puck line, and I don't think it will cover. I think Utah really can push them in this game with that momentum. Now, do they win? Maybe not, but I do think they'd cover that puck line at the end of the day. Again, the puck line, not enough value. So Larry, happy Sunday. Dylan Strome and Guenther for the anytime goal, parlayed with Ovi and Keller for the assist. You have to love where you're going there, Larry, in that I do think I probably would look here at just taking all 4 of them for the point. I would play it a little bit more cautiously out there. I'd take Dylan Strome, Dylan Guenther, and Ovi and Clayton Keller for the point tonight, just parlayed together because you're still going to get great value. And then what I would do is I'd take those anytime goals and the assist bet separately outside of the parlay. But if you're betting them all separately like that, you know you got to put a tiny sprinkle on that. With Hungry to Score, Suzuki shots on goal. So Suzuki shots on goal is a nice way to go here because if Andre Vasilevsky really does stand tall between the pipes. Now let's see if we've got any goalie confirmations right now and what we're seeing for shots on goal and save shots. Now, Dobbs is confirmed here for the Montreal Canadiens. So he has a number 25.5. minus 130 to the over. And you guys, we've been hitting on these goalie props. We hit Gustafsson nicely over 25.5 save shots on goal yesterday. In that game for the Minnesota Wild, he stopped, 30 or 34 shots. So looking at goalie props is something we're really going to focus on after we get out of the 4 nations. The problem is when we do Puck It with Joe, it is so hard for us to get those numbers. So when I'm suggesting numbers to you guys, that is where I would look to go. FanDuel's sometimes late because we don't get confirmations and going live at noon Eastern. Do stay tuned to my X account over on Twitter. I will try to keep you guys updated with confirmed goalies and where their numbers are going and if I'd be looking at it over or under. Or maybe what I'll do is I'll put out a short in the afternoon here on Twitter and on YouTube for those goalie confirmations and where I'm going with their save shots on goal because I love goalie props, you guys. It's like in football. I love those defensive props. I love goalie props. So Dobbs coming in here at 25.5. You know the Tampa Bay Lightning are going to bring it versus him today, but I do think this is a little bit of pond hockey. He's been playing over expectations, and I think we've got so many snipers out there that we could see this come very close to the number. So I'm not going to do anything with Dobbs. If you're looking at Andre Vasilevsky, I would look at him right around probably 26, 27.5. I'm trying to see the shots on goal for Nick Suzuki. So we're looking at Nick Suzuki, 3+ shots on goal coming in at, if I can find him here. Do we have to take him up to 4+? Oh, there he is. Plus 220 for 3+ shots on goal. 2+ shots on goal for Nick Suzuki is coming in to juiced at minus 144. So 3 shots, it's not asking that much out of Nick Suzuki to get 3 shots on goal tonight. I do think that is a really solid way to go. You're looking at Patrick Laine here for the Montreal Canadiens as well at plus 182 for 3+ shots on goal, and Cole Caulfield at minus 148. Now we know Cole Caulfield can get those shots. 4+ for Cole Caulfield at plus 172. I do think this is an interesting look looking at those guys for their shots on goal. Now, let's see if we got any goalie props here for the Washington Capitals game versus the Utah Hockey Club. So we are seeing Connor Ingram confirmed in net. His number is 23.5. You guys, this is so low. I do expect the Washington Capitals to be able to come out strong, get those shots. We know Utah doesn't provide any resistance, but will Connor Ingram be held in this game is my biggest question. He was yanked after allowing 4 goals on 13 shots in the last. I would be very cautious with taking Connor Ingram props. Now, Logan Thompson coming in here, 23.5 minus 130 to the over. We look at a Utah Hockey Club that does play better on the road than they do at home. 23.5 shots is not a lot of shots, and I do expect pon hockey here. Even if we see Utah get 3 goals in this game, I think they're putting up closer to 30 shots on net. So 24, 25, 26, 27, we've got wiggle room of a couple goals. So I do like Logan Thompson here over 23.5 save shots on goal. The problem with that is you're laying minus 130. I do think we could move up to 25 plus save shots on goal. That's where we're going to get some plus money. So under the alt totals over on FanDuel, oh, sorry, that's Connor Ingram. We do not want Connor Ingram. We want Logan Thompson, 25 plus save shots on goal, coming in at plus 100. So you're breaking that, you're hitting the plus 100 mark at 25 plus. If you think 26 plus, we've got to have a huge day out of Utah. 26 plus save shots on goal at plus 128. We know Utah will be hungry in this game. I do think the defense is a little bit slower here for the Caps with that break ahead of them. So I would be comfortable taking Logan Thompson up to 25 plus shots on goal. I do think 3 goals, 2 goals, I think 3 goals really here out of Utah. I know how strong Washington is at home. I just don't love that scheduling spot. So Logan Thompson, 30 shots. Yeah, 25 I can see. So I love where you are going, you guys. The break will break my NHL mojo. Okay, but we've got 4 nations. So you guys, let me know if you want me to break down these 4 nations games and talk them. If you guys want to bet them, I will be here. So please let me know if you want to bet them. If you don't want to bet them, if you're not interested, please let me know as well, because there's no point of doing a show unless you guys want to be here and doing it. I'll be betting these games no matter what, but you guys don't want to talk it, that's completely fine with me. 4 nations, it might be a nice break from the ice for you guys, but it's the last day of the NFL today. So what are we all going to do? Yes, there's basketball action out there on the hardwood. Couple more weekends before March Madness kicks off, and then we will be getting into baseball season. You guys can hardly wait. Remember, there's also the CFL. Let me know if you guys like betting the CFL bet. Okay, David, definitely would like my thoughts on the 4 nations. So if you guys want it in this format, if you just want it in a short, please let me know how you guys are wanting it. Drop those comments below this video, and I will make it happen based on consensus out there. But you guys, enjoy the big game. I can't wait. Head on over to the SportsGrid app to see what I'm betting. I'm also going to put out my cup of Joe right away here for all of my bets in this game. You know, there's some fun novelty bets that we can bet. And you guys be careful on those novelty bets and be careful with how much you spend on the big game, because still it's just one game out there. We don't bet 100 games. Well, it feels like we bet 100 games some days out there on the ice, but you don't have to spend all of your bankroll on the Super Bowl today. So be careful with those novelty bets as well. Yeah, poor AD. AD getting injured after that last game. Just definitely not what the Mavs wanted to see. It was live on air when that happened. Larry, if you guys want me to do a baseball show, please let me know. I want to hear what you guys want. I need that feedback from you guys. So let's go, you guys. Let's make some freaking money. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you, everyone, so much for joining me here again on Pocket with Joe over here on SportsGrid TV on X. Let's keep rolling with momentum. Let's make some freaking money. Enjoy the game. Stay tuned to my X for everything. I'll be live betting this game, even though I'm not on air. I will be putting those comments out on X, what I'm jumping into. You know, we got to jump in on the Eagles if the Chiefs go up first plus 5.5. So that is what I'm going. You guys are wanting baseball. Let's freaking go. Let's run it up again this upcoming season for baseball. At least, well, that's all we've got. Let's run it up, you guys. So I'll see you here. Well, we'll see you on Wednesday. You guys, what are we going to do? I'll see you on Wednesday here for Pocket with Joe 4 Nations style. We'll see you then.